if you're really honest about how you're feeling and you're out there and you're willing to be vulnerable and express that, that really is Krump.
Krista Davis, a Lewis and Clark State College dance professor, also known as Mama Storm, has been teaching Krump for several years and has brought it to Idaho.
With Krump, it kind of happened by accident. I was actually at University of Idaho working on my PhD, and I was told that I really needed to network a little bit more and get to some of these conferences and professional organizations. So I bit the bullet and went to San Diego, which is where this conference happened to be, which was great. But there was a lot of amazing sessions, and so I got to work with the Little Washington Dance Company and just a lot of different people that were there for that conference. So one of the people that were there as presenters was Tommy the Clown and his crew, and it was a session that was called Krump. And so I had a bunch of people from University of Idaho that said, you got to get to this, you got to see, Tommy's great. So went to this conference, it really resonated with me, took the contact information home, and went on my merry way. Well, I got back to University of Idaho and I was working at the dance program as part of my PhD. I have a dance emphasis in it, and I had a lot of people saying, well, teach me that, teach me that. And I learned this little tiny snippet of a combination that was taught that we battled with, and then we did a little bit of freestyle, but I didn't fully understand the form because it was just a really short period of time and there was a lot to understand. And so I taught this combination, and people were always asking for more because it was unique and different and so on. And so I just felt very inadequate, I guess. And I felt like, okay, so here I am, this older white woman, trying to teach this thing that was born in the inner city with kids that were really hurting. And as much as I loved it, I didn't feel like I knew enough about it and I would be giving misinformation maybe if I did too much more.
5 months later, after Davis visited the conference, she brought an Idaho team to LA with her to do research and also get a better understanding of Krump to bring back to Idaho.
So it was kind of crazy timing. We had no idea what to expect. I was newly hired here at LCSC, and so I put together an IRB for a research project. So it would count for something too, because it was all completely out of my pocket, to go down there. And there's 5 of us on the team, and we did a research project that was really based on kind of experiential learning of being immersed in the setting and just to see what we could gain. And the biggest goal of the project was to see, how does this work, how does it function, and can we translate that into a form where we can reach out to rural Idaho kids or rural Washington kids.
Davis works with the Northwest Children's Home to help them express their emotions in the most positive way.
You don't have to be born in the inner city to struggle with some of those very same, or at least very similar struggles of basically children who parent themselves on a lot of levels, or sometimes multiple generations of children who parent themselves, and poverty and drug use and abuse and gang involvement and a lot of those kinds of things. I've had little girls that I've met that 2 weeks before I met them the first time, their mother was murdered in front of them. I mean, those kind of things happen in places other than just the inner city, and bless her heart, she needs a place to be able to express how she's really feeling no matter what it is. And so if we can provide that, I think that's incredible. And really and truly anybody can Krump. Whether or not they're willing to really is the bigger question.
I'm Hunter Funk from Inside the Vandals.